Good morning, everyone, and welcome to KBC, Kundan Peo Cholin. So happy to have you here. Through the wonderful blessing of our teacher, Dharma Mamo, she has invited Khenpo, our resident Khenpo, to teach every Sunday. So Khenpo is here and will be giving a teaching and some meditation and Q&A. So an opportunity to ask any questions you may have. We'll also be concluding with a short Chenrezig practice and accumulating some mantra together. So thank you again for being here. And Khenpo, thank you so much.
Thank you. Sanji Chedan Sanji Chonam Na Chonchi Padun Dani Jasu Jindogi Jinsu Jibi Chonam Jindola Ben Sanji Drupa Sho Sanji Chedan Sanji Chon. Chonchi Padun Dani Jasu Jindogi Jinsu Jibi Chonam Jindola Ben Sanji Drupa Sho Sanji Chedan Sanji Chonam Chonchi Padun Dani Dagi Jinsu Jibi Chonam Jindola Ben Sanji Drupa Sho Sanji Tamji Dewa Devi Judan Demba Juji Doha Doha Judan Jawa Dunga mebe dewa damba da mendrawa juji nirin chodan nidan trabe donyam chimbola neba juji senjen tamje dewa da divi judo demba juji dunga da dunga juji don trawa Dunga mebe dewa damba da mendrawa juji nirin chodan nidan trabe donyam chimbola neba juji senjen tamje dewa da divi judo demba juji dunga da dunga juji don trawa Dunga mebe dewa damba da mendrawa juji nirin chodan nidan trabe donyam chimbola neba juji ngaji tsuji penchen bumala tayang sipa zong tsuting. Nimbi demba bela dadrawa bema nobe shala so wawande. Good morning and welcome to Sunday meditation class. And also last Sunday we talked about how precious being a human and how difficult to obtain this human life or human body. So that's why we have to take care of this body. So when we talk about taking care of this body, which doesn't mean to attach, of course, this body is so precious. We need to take care of all the way till the last breath. But it doesn't mean that we should be attached to it. The real meaning is now that we have the precious human body, we must not waste it and use it wisely, which means to help others as much as we can, as long as we are alive. So, today's actual topic is mindfulness. There is a full mindfulness. So today we will talk about on body mindfulness. Okay. So for mindfulness, a practice to correct overview of the 5 aggregate of experience in the 4 wrong ways. We always actually, in this sense, ordinary people are always holding wrong of those 4, which are perceiving what is impure as pure, and number 2 is holding what is dissatisfactory or suffering as blissful, and then third one is holding what is impermanent as permanent, then fourth, holding what is lacking in self as conceptual of self. So those are the actually 4 views which we need to understand where we are going wrong. So reason of that, before we are going to meditate, I always, explain a little bit. So, based on the correct view of the mind, we practice according to the following points. As our body, this is contrary to the clean or pleasant view to look unclean or unpleasant. Then instead of being satisfied with our feeling, to see suffering or dissatisfaction. Our mind, when we talk about mind, so we need to think all the consciousness. Sometimes we talk about 6 consciousness, or sometimes we talk about 8 consciousness. So all the consciousness as permanent, the view of impermanence. And then all the phenomena, which is included all mental factors and all the 5 aggregate, okay? So to be view of self, meditate on the aspect of selflessness. So those are the 4. So when we're doing here meditation or shamatha, so we have to understand what is the main obstacle of shamatha or meditation. So there's 2 main obstacles, which is one is desire and one is ignorance. So those 2 are the main causes of mental distraction. As a prelude to mindfulness meditation, we meditate on the object or opponent of desire as having a bad body or ugliness or unpleasant appearance. And we meditate on the breathing in the opponent of imagination or conceptual thoughts. So body mindfulness refers to our physical body. We focus on the 3 types of body, which is one is external body, and another one is internal, and a third one is internal, external, both. The external, which means our own body, okay? Then, or external, sorry. The internal, which means outside world around us, whatever we see, trees or gardens, house, all kind of. Then both, which means own body and other people's, and then other things too, actually, those trees and houses are. So these are the 3 types of a body. So we focus on that, okay? First, of course, there are many different ways to determine the selflessness of the person. In this case, the self of the person is based on the 5 aggregate. I'm sure some of you already know what is the 5 aggregate. Is it? Form, sometimes form, aggregate, and feeling. Is it? And then another one, conceptual phenomena, or yeah, sometimes we like that too. And then mental association, and then consciousness. Those are the 5 aggregates, So today we are focused on body. So meditate on our own body or the other's body, to see the unclean, but we always wrong view to think, those are the, unclean as clean, the impure as pure. So to see the, impermanent as permanent. So here we are talking about first one, which is more easy than the other, mindfulness. So the body mindfulness is important at this point. So for most people, desire realm have had sexual desire actually. Okay, is the strongest form of sexual desire. The target of the mind's rage is the body unpleasant or ugliness. The main issue here is to develop a sense of hatred against, sexual desire. This is not to deny the truth of the universe, the mind that is the logic of realizing the truth of the universe. The body can be very attractive to society and individuals, but we must look at these bodies logically with a mind that understands the profound truth about it. So, standard days meditation are very powerful. Some practitioners may base themselves on the religions or psychological factors of other religions and apply them with physical attachment and jealousy are attachments. When you want to take this kind of practice very seriously, then we have to be very careful if meditating on the body only increases the fear and anxiety of the nervous system. So at that point, then we should think about our being human is so precious. Okay, the practice must be strengthened by intense meditation on the precious human body. We must remember that the purpose of choosing a negative object of meditation in order to achieve peace is to counter the distraction of the mind that arise from desire and attachment. For such people, it's probably more effective to choose another place or something else that stimulates their desire and attachment the most. For example, it's like a food or tobacco. So then for the four forms of the body where we are today and focusing, the meditation on desire and attachment is the color of the body and form. Then the feeling of the touching and the benefit that comes from it. Those four, right now we are going to focus on the first two, which is color of the body and form. That we must focus on the four physical characteristics of a person we find attractive. Then we must apply the same focus to our own body and practice it. At each stage of practices, we must imagine that the other persons or ourselves will one day die. So no matter how beautiful and magnificent the body of the other person or our own body is while we are alive, eventually the dead body becomes ugly and disgusting, and we do not have desire to the dead body. Once we have that kind of feeling, then that is not apart from the antidote to desire. So for example, a person's skin color is attractive. It was a rotten corpse, and its color had changed to dark blue, even when um, we, he or she, was alive. We suffered versus injuries and turned it body blue and black. The body turned red and black. Burn. Think about how and unpleasant. We focus on our bodies like this. It must be used in a targeted manner and must be paid attention to by the glue of the mind. So this is one of we are going to focus on the colors of skin. Is it keep changing? So we can focus, or we can think about when, for giving example, from the kids when we was kid, from 1 to 15 to 16, how our color, our body color is, how beautiful looks. Then when we become a boy or girl, like 18 to 15, 16, so how it's, year by year keep changing of body skin. Then we can focus on from 60 to 80, 90, 100. So through that, we can focus our own body skin. There is actually no permanent, whether it's your own skin or others. So this is one of focusing on skin. Then second one is zota, eat, farm. Is it? Farm. When we was kid, so everybody watched you. They feel this kid is so beautiful or so nice, so good. But where we grow up, first level, second level, or third level, which means the teenager, and then what we call adult, then old. It's our body shapes also keep changing, not stay forever. So similar like that. So all the phenomena actually keep changing, but we are not aware that. It's always thinking, permanent, everything. So this is actually, the person's shape and appearance also, looks beautiful when we was young. Your body is eaten by insect and other insects, and it's turned to pieces. Think of it as a swollen and blatted corpse. Even when you are alive, you will suffer from illness and disease. It appears that the body shapes may change with weight gain, aging. So there's nothing permanent or stable about our bodies. Well, we are alive because children and young men, when it comes to fashion, it is clear that the shape and color of the body change with age. So even if we have a good body shape at the moment, there's nothing to be ashamed of if you don't have, bad body shape or good body shape. It doesn't matter, So both are the body. We can say body, just a body. Is it? It keep changing. So there's nothing, attached with that. So when we're doing this kind of practices, then we can also practice equality or equal. Okay, it doesn't matter, how your body skin is color, white or black or whatever, and your body shape is, some are, body shapes good, some are bad, but doesn't matter. So it's keep changing every moment. So think about that. So then this is also we are practicing impermanence. Not only that we are focusing on body shape or color, or we are not only doing the body mindfulness, we are also practicing the impermanence or emptiness. So, so we are blended by the deep impression of negativity in our heart and cannot see the truth. Therefore, no matter how good and shape and color of the body, it is not separate from the nature of change. So we can find out if we do our own research. A photo of water period and young men also put a current three pictures in front of each other. It's clear they come in different colors and shape. So therefore, if we are too attached, then we will not be able to realize the wisdom of selflessness. So if we don't, then we can avoid suffering. If we don't, we can avoid life. If we can't, in the three world, one must repeatedly take birth in karma and negativity. Therefore, our body awareness is not just focused on body movement. By maintaining body awareness, one must be able to overcome the desire to become this body. If we do this in meditate again and again, we will have temporary peace of mind. Of course, there's no such thing as unwanted relationship. It is same as the ultimate Buddhahood, the ultimate peace or long-lasting peace. Sometimes we call like that too. The final peace can be achieved, which is through the body mindfulness, we can achieve Buddhahood. So sometimes the people, we have a lot of dissatisfaction. So we want this, that, anything, But when we're focusing on Dharma practicing, if you know only the body mindfulness practice well, that is enough actually. We can achieve through the body mindfulness, achieve Buddhahood, or we can say inner peace. So this is one of the reason all the Theravadi or Vajrayana or Mahayana, the common practice, those what I mentioned it before, 37 aspects of Bodhisattva's enlightenment. So number one is body mindfulness. Is it? So why they choose this is the number one, because it's so important, Not only that we are focusing only the body, we are focusing all the Four Noble Truth. You know? So if someone really want to achieve something, or someone really want to inner peace, then we should practice on body mindfulness. Once we really understood this body mindfulness, then you can remove your desire and ignorance. Okay? Once we remove our desire and ignorance, then that is the Buddhahood actually, or Arhat, or Bodhisattva. No need to actually go somewhere, to achieve the Buddhahood or Arhat or Bodhisattva. So it's important to do body mindfulness probably, perfectly. Before that, we need to little bit understand what is the body mindfulness. So reason of that, every Sunday before the meditation, I explain a little bit what is we are going to focusing on. So today is we are focusing on our body color and form. We can focus our child and teenager, and then Karze, old. So these three pictures you can imagine in your mind. Okay, then you can think how our body color and shapes are keep changing. There's no staying forever, so there's nothing to attach with it. So think like that. Okay, so then important before doing meditation is 7 posture of Virujana. So I think you all must know 7 posture of Virujana. Then think on in your mind, okay, the over body, skin, and color, and you can also think you can body's movement too. So it doesn't matter which is suitable for you. You can think, okay? So through that, then one day we can because understood what is selflessness also. Okay? So we can now focus on your own body, skin, and shape, 15 to 20 minutes. Just think on that and focus on that. If you can't, in between, your mind will distract, then just take a little break. Then again, you can meditate on your body, color, and shape. Okay, so now you can relax. So this is the one way how we can meditate on body mindfulness. Actually, there's so many ways, or so many methods of body mindfulness. One is we already taught last week, like a precious human body, and this one is another one. And then next we can do another one, the step by step. No need to jump. Yeah, because we are just a beginner, so we should follow the step by step. Okay, sometimes some practices are more deeper than today's one. So sometimes our mind not really enough, what we call capacity. Okay, so then we chance to lose interest in meditation or interest in learning something. So that's why, step by step is good for all of us. No need to jump. Yeah, because our minds are really, how to say, with full of desire. So we need, or we want everything. But it's difficult to get all what you wished. Sometimes we just satisfy what you have. Just stay on that. Okay, don't think too much. If we think too much, then we really, how to say, face a lot of problems. If you're thinking less, then problem also less. You think too much, then problems also too much. So that's the reason in Theravada. So they said, what is the good practitioner? Then they said, someone who has satisfied what he or she has. That is good practitioner. So it's really, how to say, meaningful, Yeah. So like that. This is just briefly, how to say, how we focus on body mindfulness. Okay. Then, if you have time, you can come here, and then because this temple is 24/7 is open for everyone, so you can do as much as you can. So, but for the beginner meditator, it's said actually it's best way how we can maintain our meditation or maintain our interest in meditation. So do, how to say, short meditation again, 2 to 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then take a break. Then again you can do like that. Okay, so if you stay longer, like of course if you can stay longer, then it's okay without distracting your mind. Okay, focusing on what we wished, what we aim, or what we are focusing on the object or whatever. So if you can, do much longer without distracting, then it's okay. But for the beginner, when we're doing, meditation, at that time, all the different thoughts are arising, So then that means you are distracting. So, yeah. So if you recognize that, that is actually very, how to say, one of the good sign. Those who are meditator. Yeah. So we are not actually recognize what our mind, what our mind is doing. So through that we are, circling in this samsara. Once we know our mind, what our mind is doing, then you will realize or recognize what is wrong, what is right. Until that, we are, how to say, circling this samsara or three world, we can say that. Okay? So try to focus on that. And then, of course, what is benefit for you and for your family or society, think about that. Okay? So also meditation is one of the best way to bring inner peace. In Sanskrit, we call shila. Sometimes in Tibetan words, we just pronounce as saying shila. But I don't think that is correct. But all those masters are saying like that, So, but in Sanskrit, shil may be shil, which means coolness or calmness. What is the essence of meditation? It's shila or shil, which is calmness or coolness. Okay? So it's important for all of us, especially, nowadays, our whole world, lots of problems. So our mind, always distracting, and especially those technology, the Instagram or Facebook or so many things, we are, mostly over time spent with social network. Is it? Yeah. So always, our mind is distracting something. Then, of course, in at the 24 hours each day, if we can do something good, at least 5 to 10 minutes, also enough. I mean, really, it's difficult to focus on meditation or doing something good. Okay, so thank you for attention and coming. So hopefully next Sunday we will see again. Actually, we don't know, This is a good practicing. Buddha said actually, what is the good practice? Then he said actually, thinking impermanence is the most and precious practice. Yeah. If we think always in impermanent, then people will not doing some, you know. So it's very important, of course. Of course, Buddha's all teachings are important because Buddha's teachings are related with truth, you know. That is why, important. Through the Buddha teaching, we can recognize the truth or nature. We can say nature of mind or Buddhahood. Sometimes we call like that, Buddhahood. Yeah. So without, Buddha and his teachings, it's difficult to, recognize what is truth. Thank you. If you have any questions, then I would love to, if I can, give some answer. Ale.
Thank you, Khenpo. I have a question about practically applying these meditations as we progress on the path, right? So last week we spent time learning about the freedoms and endowments, and we spent some time contemplating that. During the week, so that we're kind of moving through and making progress, what do you recommend? Do you think that, to give some structure to your contemplation, should we make a list of these 10 freedoms and endowments and then spend some time each day contemplating one of them, the next one, the next one, the next one, and then move on to kind of contemplating the impermanence of the body after you really kind of grok the importance of the precious human birth? Is that what it should look like? Or I think a lot of times Westerners aren't quite sure what to do with the contemplation. We say we can contemplate teachings, but what do we do during meditation, during that space where we're trying to hold okay, I want my eyes here, I want this here, I want that. We get caught up on those details, but what's our mind actually doing, right? What should we be contemplating? So my question is more about that, how do we kind of progress along these different stages, or how long do you spend, contemplating the 10 freedoms and endowments before moving on to impermanence, before moving on to the rest of body mindfulness? I'm sure there's not a standard answer, but any sort of recommendation to give some guidance to that between sessions during here on Sunday that we came to during the week?
I think it's really important, of course. Yeah. Each and every step we need to, how to say, in Tibet. In English, really. So what also, what I'm trying to, Karze, all the teachings, I'm not, jumping because we need, Karze, Korim. Each stage is so important, like last Sunday, I said how precious is human rebirth or being a human. Then we can't actually stay on that forever, So we need move next stage or next step. So the reason of that, also, the Buddha's teaching are also like that. So four thoughts turning the mind. So number one, Buddha taught precious human. And then second, impermanence, So he never teach number one, impermanence. Yeah, because we need progress each and every practice, and then need to step by step. Okay, so of course we need to think about human rebirths, how precious on that, like each and every day. If you think 5 to 10 minutes, also enough actually. Okay, so not only that, then you have to do other things like prostration or mandala, because prostration or the mandalas are very, very important, to develop our wisdom. Without then cannot your wisdom. So reason of that, the 7 branches of what we call that offering. So all the those things you can do each and every day, step by step. Like morning, you can do offering things. Then secondly, you can meditate a little bit. And then other things you have to do, Then you can do practices like puja. Puja? Puja is Sanskrit or Indian word. The prayers. So like this. Okay? That's okay? I don't know.
Did the Buddha teach about what is really the root of sexual desire? Is it like the body's desire to live forever through the genetics, or did he kind of diagnose what the real root of that comes from?
Desire itself a root. Yeah. I mean, desire, which means we have actually explained 3 poisons, 3 poison. One is ignorance, one is desire, one is shedan, which means hatred. Yeah, these 3 are the roots, all the negative emotions. Then desire come from where? Is ignorance actually, not knowing the truth, which means ignorance. If we knowing about our body and all the nature, all the phenomena are truth, then there's nothing to attach with that, because we don't know, we are not focusing on that, or we don't know all the phenomena are truth. Why? We have ignorance. Then it arises like attachment or desire, then hatred or jealousy or the other things. In that Karze, 12 interdependent, in that says all the roots is actually ignorance, That's why they put number 1 is ignorance. Yeah. Why we are circling in this samsara? Because of ignorance. So desires came from ignorance.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Then you can do it in English also, okay?
Khenpo's asked that we read through this in English. Home, in the northwest country of Oriana,
Born in the pollen herjo, lotus, endowed with the most marvelous spiritual endowment, you are venerable as the lotus born, surrounded by returning by many darkness. Following your footsteps, I pray to you, please come forth and grant your blessings. Pema Siddhi Hum, Om Ah Hum, Benzang Guru, Pema Siddhi Hum.
your thousand arms,
Thousands of universe monarchs, your thousand eyes, the moon of the fortunate age. We will teach each and every one of us according to our needs. Lord, our Lord, this shortly to you I pay homage. Mani Peme Hum Shi, Mani Peme Hum, 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 Mani Peme Hum. Om mani bime ore, mani bime ore, mani bime ore, mani bime ore, mani bime ore. Om mani bime ore, mani bime ore, mani bime ore. Mani bime ore, mani bime ore. Om mani bime ore, 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 mani bime ore. Om mani bime ore, 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 mani bime ore. Om mani bime ore, mani bime ore. Om mani bime ore, mani bime ore. Mani bime ore.
by this
Richard Suffolk mentioned said of Chenrezig, and may all sentient beings without exception be placed in every state. May therefore may all sentient beings be free of suffering. May the mind be filled with the nature of virtue. In this way may all causes resulting suffering be extinguished, and only the light of compassion shining through all realms. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for attending. Thank you, Khenpo, for your teaching and meditation. It is always customary to make an offering after receiving a Dharma teaching. We have some offering baskets over there, as well as some QR codes for online donations. And next up today, we have a drum circle at 1 o'clock over across the street by the Ricochet statue. So you can come there. We have extra instruments, so anyone can join. We'll be chanting different mantras there. And please feel free to, visit all the grounds with the stupas and the gardens. We have cute little farm animals. We have beautiful koi fish down the way over here. The little beautiful koi ponds. And we also want to invite you, we have a fall soiree at our koi ponds on October 3rd. So please join us there for a beautiful evening under the stars with the koi. But you'll join us. So thank you again, and thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you. And we have cookies. With 5 star.